Welcome to the Sell for Millions show. Today we're in Melbourne, Florida, and we're at Next Level Digital Marketing Agency. And I have the CEO and founder, Matt Vazquez, here with me. And what Matt has done in little over 2 years is built a 7-figure agency that's very profitable, has a great office, has a great team. And today he's willing to share with us his secrets on how to build a 7-figure agency. So welcome to the show, Matt.
Thanks for having me, Brian. Appreciate it.
Tell me a little bit about Next Level, what you do, how you do it, and why you just got started in it.
Sure. So Next Level Digital Marketing is a full-service digital marketing agency. We specialize in helping businesses achieve one of two goals, and that's to increase their sales. So we help them scale their business. So that's a lot of lead generation, a lot of transactional advertising. And the other side is brand awareness. So we reach and awareness. So we're developing a brand. It's new to a market. It's testing out a new market. And so they're not so focused on the transactional side of advertising, trying to get leads and turn them into conversions as quick as possible. They're going for that reach and awareness and ad recall. So we help businesses focus on one or the other, or sometimes both at the same time. Of course, those two different strategies have overlapping tactics, but we focus on sales and scale, reach and awareness.
And what areas of expertise do you have? What niches? What's your average customer look like?
Sure.
A traditional customer.
So right now we're more of a generalist agency. So we work in hospitality, we work in tourism, we work with contractor home services. We work all over the place in financial. And one thing we are changing to is we're starting to focus on one vertical, a niche. But our typical clients will come in and they come to us, or we go to them presenting one of the two options that we perform best as an agency. We go to them with showing them what we can do to help them scale their business through lead generation and increase sales, or we'll present to them a strategy to develop their brand awareness and reach and impact in certain areas. And so again, it ranges. We'll work with a financial institution one day, the next day we'll work with a university, another day we'll work with theme parks, and then another day we'll work with a roofer. So we're all over the place.
So what are your secrets? I mean, what would you like to share with the audience? We do have a lot of agencies that view this and view the show. If you were starting all over again, tell me the steps. What would you do first? How would you do it?
I would say develop a core offering. You hear a lot about creating a niche. And I would say that is true. You need to focus on a niche. But when you're first starting out, you're really just trying to generate sales, right?
Trying to pay the bills.
You're trying to pay the bills. You're
have
trying
some money left over at the end of the month.
Exactly. And so the idea behind just focusing on a niche, it can be really tough because you need to take all the work you can get. I would say if I had to start all over, I would first focus on developing a core product offering that is going to be most accepted in my local market, because it's really easy to knock on doors to meet local business owners. Develop a core offering at a lower price point to saturate your existing market, because you could in 6 months have a 6-figure business doing that strategy, and that's what I did do. Then after that, we started to focus on certain verticals in tourism, education, hospitality.
So once you got good, once you started seeing results for certain clients, you said, let's say it was hospitality, let me find 4 more or 5 more, just like that. Here's our track record, and add it on top of that.
Exactly. And then you can start to figure out what your niche was. So we're 3 years as an agency, and we're just now finding what our sweet spot is for that niche. So if I had to pick a niche before I started this agency, I'm not sure if I ever would have started the agency. I knew that I was really good at 3 things. And I developed products around those 3 things, and I sold the heck out of those 3 things. Then I was able to bring on other team members. They were good at 3 other things.
So you were good at first finding that core offering that people would buy.
Yep.
You're solving some pain, and people were willing to pay you for it.
Right.
And then your second thing is like you're great at sales. You're great at knocking on doors.
Sales will cure all of your problems. And any business, this isn't just for digital marketing. If you're having a problem with project management, or managing expectations with your client, go out and sell more, because then you can hire a client success manager to manage all of your clients. If project management is a problem, go out and sell even more. Hire a project manager. Sales will cure a lot of your problems.
Let me ask you, how many doors do you have to knock on before you had your first sale in your agency?
Well, it was different for me because all I've ever done is marketing. I've been in this industry even at high schools when I started my freshman year, developing websites and everything. So, and since I'm a native to this area, this county, it wasn't really too long. Because I had also been consulting prior to starting the agency. So probably, when I stepped out and started the agency, I already had a client base. So it wasn't too long to do that.
Which a lot of people do. A lot of people will be working for somebody else. Hey, I want to do that on my own. Know some people.
Right.
Be able to get off to a start.
Right. That's why my recommendation is to actually start local instead of saying I'm going to focus on one vertical focus all over the country. Start in your backyard, because they're going to be the most forgiving. Because they're going to be people that know you, that like you, and already trust you.
And you'll talk to them.
You can talk to them. So if there's a breakdown in the product, you can fix it a lot quicker in your local market than you can fix it at scale in one vertical.
Very good advice. So what's the third thing? We talked about your product offering, being good at sales. What's number 3?
Product offering, sales, and I would think having a really solid product offering.
So that makes total sense. Obviously, in marketing, you have to give people results.
Right.
And you have to get them results sooner than later. To do it. Do you typically do you want to talk about how your pricing structure, how you work with people?
Sure.
Are you I know there's many different ways that agencies work. How do you typically like to work with people?
Right. So there are 2 kinds of results that we like to give to our clients, and I recommend every agency give to their client. One is perceived value, and one is actual value, and you have to build that into your packages. And I've seen the most successful agencies do that. They don't really talk about it. There really aren't chapters and how-tos on how to develop perceived value for your client. And a lot of that could be, if you understand in your discovery meeting with your client that vanity is a real big deal for them, you should probably save an extra $20 or $30 out of that budget to invest into an impressions campaign or something where they'll get an extra 5,000 views, and all of a sudden their perception of how that campaign is performing will be over the moon. They'll just be super excited about it. Even though they didn't maybe get results on that particular campaign, they'll be really happy, and they'll believe in what you're doing because of the perceived value. Ultimately you need to build something around actual tangible value and lead generation and sales for them, but having the 2 is customer success and longevity, increasing that lifetime value of the client. You have to bake in there the perceived value.
Well, and generally people understand if they're getting impressions that people are watching it. They might not be customers or right now, but if they're building a relationship, if they're seeing them, building that awareness, that perceived value it's a real value.
Right. It is because perception is reality. So
absolutely.
Perceived value ultimately becomes tangible value because that becomes the reality of it. So as marketers, that is our job, is to create a distortion reality and kind of will it into existence, leveraging data and technology, right messaging, right time, right platforms, and ultimately get that client. So the kind of products that we offer, we do everything from search engine optimization, web design, videography, a lot of ad creation, and a lot of consulting as well. And so we have 3 models of pricing. So we have a percentage pricing structure where we'll manage certain campaigns, and these are typically high ad dollar campaigns. We'll manage it for a percentage of the campaign. Another one is going to be off retainer time, and that's typically what we do with a lot of the clients we consult with, typically in hospitality, tourism. We have a chain of theme parks and family entertainment centers that we manage, and that goes off of time. So what we do is every month we're either visiting the locations, we're providing recommendations, building brand books, developing advertisement campaigns, and then really giving that to them and letting them run it, and then we oversee it. So that one's just based off time. We give them a block of time. We charge per hour. If they go over, they'll pay for those hours. And then the third is just a flat retainer rate. So I would say we're about split even between the 3, between percentage of ad campaign, selling time, and then the third one is a flat retainer time. And we typically do that with the accounts that are transactional,
Okay,
very
makes sense.
lead focused, because we know we can copy, rinse, and repeat a lot of the existing processes over. So we'll just charge a flat rate because we win on those on volume.
And do you let the customer decide? I mean, how do you, or do you go in with the offer because you kind of understand their business, or how do you decide which service, or does the customer just let you know?
Yeah, so for a lot of home services, contractor services, we typically know that search engine optimization, local SEO, reputation management, maps, Google ads, Bing ads, Facebook retargeting, remarketing, we know that just works, that recipe.
Okay.
You can tweak the ingredients and percentages of spend in each area, but we know that recipe generally works. We know how long it's going to take us to accomplish that, so we have a flat baseline for a package like that. Our packages start off around, for the contractor space, $22.50, goes up to $32.50, and that covers a certain geographical area. So if they want to expand to the next area, then they'll just double that price point.
And when you look at it, from your client standpoint, I mean, they would have to hire somebody for double that and train them and know what they're doing and manage them. Basically day one, you're basically like their marketing arm for their firm, and
Exactly.
and it just works. That model just works very, very well.
Exactly.
Well, anything else you want to share with us on the secrets of getting that seven-figure agency, and again a very quick period of time?
Sure. I would say move real fast. Don't be afraid to break things, and understand that you're going to fail a lot. My mentality every day is I want to make at least 100 decisions every day. And I need the ratio of good decisions to outweigh the bad decisions. And every day when you do that, you're making progress. Some days you're going to make more bad decisions than good decisions. It's a bad day, that's okay. Sometimes you need bad days to actually give you perspective on what the good days look like.
Okay.
Because if you're going to grow and scale as quickly as we did and other agencies are doing, they understand that you have to move really fast. Don't be afraid to break things, and make lots of decisions. Get really good at critical thinking, making rapid fire decisions. If I make 100 decisions in a day, I'm probably going to make 10 of them wrong, but I still make 90 good decisions, and that moves the ball further and further every day.
Excellent. Thank you for your time. The secrets of building that seven-figure agency, and we learned a lot here. There's some many nuggets of information that and my experience has been, once people hit that seven figures, then things can really start happening. You've got a team, you've got cash, you've got things rolling, and I think we talked before this. Your next step is.
Our next step is to look at other agencies in areas that we're not as strong in for acquisition. We've also, through this process, have been able to identify some opportunities within the marketplace with new emerging technology into AI. And that's probably for a whole nother video, but we've been developing internal tools and client-facing tools to essentially replace our own agency.
Excellent. Love to talk about that as well. Again, thank you, and we will see you on the next episode.